Hello, everyone. I'm George Gutierrez from the BMOB Group, and today we come to you via the Executive Exchange. And we want to spend a few minutes speaking with you, but also I want to introduce to you Dr. Charlene Moore. And Dr. Moore is a really dear friend who has helped me quite a bit. So she's my coach, and with her coaching, I've been able to get a lot of stuff done. Really in all different kinds of worlds, specifically in the academic world. But one of the things that we both deal with is that not very many people, either they don't understand what we do for a living, or we haven't had enough time to really talk about what we do in a way that people understand it. So it doesn't matter how articulate anyone could be. The one thing that we continue to learn is that communicating effectively with any kind of efficacy becomes a challenge that most business owners, whether large business or smaller business, deal with and face every single day. And so we too have that challenge. Now, Charlene owns Sterling Management and Marketing Company. So I think I'll let her explain to us what she does so that we get a better idea.
Thank you, George. Yeah, I started this company 3 years ago, and it was kind of a fluke. I had left the previous position I had and moved out here to Winchester, and I was looking for another position. And some of my clients started to follow me and said, "Listen, can you help us out with marketing while you're in between positions?" And that's really what started the company. So I help clients out there with marketing, management, and then consulting as well. So consulting is one of the big aspects of that. And that goes from anywhere from startup companies to established companies who are looking to take it up an extra step. My passion is strategy, looking at where you're at, where you need to go, setting up goals, achievable goals, things that are measurable, everything that we've talked about when it comes to strategy. So that's what actually got me starting with this passion. And slowly over the 3 years, and as we've gotten to know each other, a lot of what we do coincides, and we have a lot of synergy in that area. So that's what Sterling does. My motto is I collaborate, I consult, I help you create. But the big one, and as you know, my background is in education. I love to impart any kind of knowledge I have in order that would make who I'm helping, consulting with, or collaborating with be stronger and better, hopefully.
All right. Now, I'm not sure that actually helps me to better understand what Charlene does. I think I do, but are we really communicating it in a way that it comes so clear that he will want you to pick up the phone and call her and say, "Hey, Charlene, I really need help with my company. Can you help me?" So let's talk about some specifics. There's one thing that Charlotte and I are doing as a joint venture, and we call that Executive Exchange. So we have a concept on how to help executives to help themselves. So one of the ways that Charlene and I are able to help executives to that end is through developing strategies. Now, in the real buzz out there, the way that people are understanding it, it's called strategic planning. So why is strategic planning so important, and what are we doing to help people with strategic planning?
Obviously, strategic planning is a roadmap on where we're going, where we're headed. And it can be the big picture and the small picture, but in my mind, it's one of the most critical aspects of running an organization, building a team, and moving forward in the organization to being successful or more successful than what it is. I'm always amazed at going into a company, sitting down with them first time and asking them, "Can I see your strategic plan?" Or in my world, there was a lot of marketing because I was in the marketing and sales side of everything. "Where's your marketing plan?" And I get these blank stares of people who have no idea that they even have one. And quite frankly, they most often did not have a plan. Then I sit down and say, okay, well then how are you operating? What is driving your decision-making process? Where are you going? Where do you want to be in a year, 2 years? What are those goals? How have you set them up? And again, I will stumble onto the fact that they don't know. So they're just spending that time operating in a vacuum to some degree without really a roadmap. It's like going on a trip and having no clue where you're going, so you're just going to drive wherever you can drive, hope that you get where you need to go. And that's not the best way to operate.
Okay, well, thank you. Well, I think that gives me some clarity in terms of strategy or strategic planning. So maybe on the next session, we can talk a little bit more about some of the more tangible ways of looking at strategy. So today, let's close with, I think, saying that strategy is what gives us a direction towards the future. How to operationalize that strategy is something that we'll talk in the next segment. So thank you to Dr. Moore very much for being here, and we look forward to our next video session.